Hi, you're with India Post Live. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post Live is, of course, India's first online web TV conversation portal where you too can join in this conversation. Today, we're talking about the politics of Simandra, about an alliance that was set over there, the BJP and TDP, that was expected to do rather well, but there seems to be chinks in that alliance. What are those? First, let's take you through that.
Even though the BJP and Telugu Desam party claim all is well with their alliance in Simandra, the tension between them is there for all to see. It was BJP that drove the first wedge by offering a ticket to TDP founder N.T. Ramarao's daughter. Purandeshwari, who was a union minister in both UPA 1 and UPA 2, defected a few weeks ago and now has been given the BJP ticket from Rajampet. Chandrababu Naidu did not take kindly to the induction, and TDP has now raked up the issue of giving tickets to weak candidates on assembly seats allotted to BJP in Simandra. TDP wants BJP to change at least 8 of the 14 candidates, while TDP candidates have already filed a nomination along with the BJP on 4 of the remaining 6 seats. That leaves only 10 out of the original 14 seats for BJP in the new state. Though BJP has been given 8 parliament and 47 assembly seats in Telangana under the alliance, it's in Simandra where the alliance has any hopes of doing well. But with both sides still sticking to their demands, the uneasy alliance could well spell their doom in the state.
All right, so an uneasy alliance, and uneasy would often lie the head that wears the crown. Who will wear the crown in Simandra? Tell us, there's the assembly polls happening simultaneously with the Lok Sabha election over there. So all up for grabs over there, the TDP, the Congress, the BJP, the Jagan Mohan's YSR Congress is also, of course, in the fray and is somewhat expected to do rather well. So to discuss all this, we have with us in the studio Mr. Ashok Wankhede. He's a senior journalist and one of our resident experts. And Mr. Jaiprakash joins us. He's the bureau chief of the Praja Shakti newspaper, one of the most popular newspapers in Andhra Pradesh. We'll also be getting a whole host of voices from the south of India. Our experts from there will be joining us. Vijay Grover, Veera Raghav and Sunil Patil will be joining us from Andhra and from Bangalore to talk more about this. In fact, if you have an opinion, you too can participate in this conversation. IndiaPostLive.com is the name of the website. Just log in and post your comments over there. Also, you can go to Twitter and use hashtag IndiaPostLive, or use our Twitter handle at IndiaPostLive. So Jaiprakash, I'll start with you first. How does it shape up? What is the battle for Simandra like? How's it looking right now?
Oh, okay. When we are talking about the alliance between TDP and BJP, we should not only confine to Simandra. Actually, there is a strong link between Telangana alliances formation and this Simandra.
Okay.
And as you just showed here, it's not only a problem of ticket to somebody or in some seat or somebody, and particularly not about Purandareshwari. So there is a whole lot of things going on in between.
Like, for example?
From the beginning, BJP is in the driver's seat in this alliance.
All right.
So it's for sure from the beginning. TDP has no other alternative except going with BJP. Whereas BJP has a lot of options, pre-poll and post-poll also. So from the beginning, they are in the driver's seat. So there started all this situation there. So TDP is not in a convincing. They are fighting for their self-respect also from the beginning. BJP is defining the terms in the alliance from the beginning. As you see in the Telangana, till the last date of the nominations, the alliance was not formalized.
Right.
There were so many hiccups and yes, no's. So BJP got 8 Lok Sabha seats in Telangana, which is a very major share. Actually, BJP don't need TDP in Telangana because without alliance with the BJP, TDP is not going to get a single seat from Telangana. Right. Because it took a different anti-Telangana stand, obviously. So it is obviously TDP was in desperation, so it needed BJP. So BJP make some profit out of it. So it was in the driver's seat. When coming back to Simandra, even today, at least in 4 seats, BJP and TDP candidates are there in the fray. So But in between, Chandrababu played a trick. After the nominations were over in Telangana, he thought that now BJP can't do anything in Telangana as nominations process was over. So he thought that naming Purandareswari and some other or something else, he started to decrease the seats allocated to BJP.
Right.
So to some extent he was successful also. Earlier he gave 5 Lok Sabha seats to TDP. Now it came down to 4. But BJP also retaliated. They resisted. They said that okay, nominations were over in Telangana, but we are not going to uh, hide your votes. Then all the things started. So now very uneasy kind of situation is going on. They said that we are not interested in even in Telangana also.
How are the people taking this over there in Simandra? Do they see through it, or how they reacting to this uneasiness in the alliance?
Actually, now in Simandra, there are only two forces. One YSR Jagan Congress and TDP BJP alliance. As you know, as Congress divided the state, in Simandra, Congress existence is in question now. So nobody is willing to take even tickets from Congress. So the fight is obviously between YSR Congress and TDP BJP alliance. So there is no option for the people. Though there is no third alternative. The left is there, but it's not strong enough to be an alternative.
Left and AAP also wasn't able to make inroads.
AAP is meager, and even Lok Satta is there. Even Lok Satta tried for some alliance with TDP BJP alliance. So on a whole, there are only two forces now in Simandra, whereas in Telangana there is a multi-corner contest. In Simandra only two side contest. So if people are already pre-minded to vote for Jagan, they will definitely vote for. Otherwise, there is no option for people. They have to go for TDP BJP alliance.
Ashok sir, what would you make of this uneasy alliance, and who would you blame?
What has happened? BJP has become a burden for TDP in Simandra, and TDP has become a burden for BJP in Telangana. That is the scenario. Initially, when BJP and TDP came together, they thought of having a grand alliance. So Namo was redefined as Na for Naidu and Mo for Modi. But it is only on a paper. The ground reality is altogether different. First of all, BJP don't have much of the cadre and the people to represent at the ground level in Simandra. So their candidates are weak. One of the seats, I think that is, if I am wrong, Arku, a tribal seat, which was allotted to BJP. BJP surrendered back because they couldn't find a suitable candidate. So whatever candidate they have filed, there is a strong protest from TDP that the candidates are too weak to win. Same thing has happened in Vidhan Sabha also. Similarly, there is no proper alliance at the ground level. Wherever TDP, Chandrababu goes for a tour, the local MLA seat is given to BJP. The BJP candidate is not coming for the rally. Wherever BJP guys are there, the TDP guys are not coming. So alliance is on paper at the central level. It has not gone to the ground level. That is one problem. But even then, in spite of this unholy alliance, not so by heart, they are a force there because in Simandra, there is nobody to oppose Jagan. Otherwise, Jagan will be supreme power in Simandra. When having Jagan, BJP, TDP, the money is playing a major role in Simandra area. It's not an emotion. Sitting in Delhi, we feel that it is emotion or a developmental issue. It's money that matters. Some of the rumors that some area, some 250,000 LED TVs were announced to be distributed by the candidate. That much amount of money.
I think I should get myself registered over there.
If you see the amount cash confiscated by the authorities in India, it is near about 200 and odd crore. Out of that, 103 crore is again alone from Simandra. So you know how much money, it's the money power that matters.
Is this Commonwealth Jayaprakash, the money and this thing in Simandra in that region?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. From the beginning, not for this election. From the beginning also, particularly in South and that too particularly in Andhra, money plays a crucial role in all the elections.
That is the reason because of these Nakshal things have cropped up. Is that because of the money power being played or a muscle power?
No, not exactly. Naxal's problem is more basically from Telangana and
against
the landlord system and this system. And another thing is what Ashokji was telling. There was no understanding or cooperation in the ground level.
Okay.
For example, BJP Seemandhra unit president. He is the president of Seemandhra unit. He was fighting from Visakhapatnam Lok Sabha. When he was filing his nomination, no TDP cadre was there.
BJP doesn't have that kind of a ground presence
even a
also.
single
There is
leader.
also a rumor that Jagan has a tie-up, some underhand dealing with BJP and Sangh. Because what people were expecting, if Purandari, that has to be filed, put up, why can't against Jagan's mother? Let her fight against Jagan's mother. It would have been a better fight. But now she has been filed by some other place by BJP. And Jagan's mother has been given a clean, it's a cakewalk for her. So many adjustments took place with the underhand dealing that you could easily smell when you go through the candidate list and how they are working. But again, because the Congress is absolutely nowhere. Kiran Reddy, he formed a party, but you can see the strength of the party. He himself is out of the race. He don't want to contest. He has filed his younger brother to contest. That shows his confidence in the voters. So, anybody who don't want to vote for Jagan will vote for TDP and BJP. So, that is the only USP of TDP and BJP there. And BJP wanted this poll to happen before election because they were knowing after post-election, nobody can guarantee Chandrababu Naidu. He may shift to third front or may not. And I think 2099, if I am not wrong, some 9 seats were, BJP won 9 seats. That was because of pre-poll alliance. So they wanted to maintain that.
Okay.
But those were the different period. That was the different period. Now the entire scenario has to be studied, that after the division, how sentiment works, what money works, where exactly development plank is working. Like what we were discussing, and he told me, in Telangana also, everybody is telling that TRS will be doing better. But the problem is that people there think that Congress has given them the...
I believe Sonia Gandhi is quite popular though.
Popular there. So maximum seat may be cornered by Congress. It will be a surprise for Congress. And the BJP, TDP will be marginalized. Even the TRS may be marginalized there. And another is Vidhan Sabha, Lok Sabha. Again, there are two patterns of voting.
All right.
People want to vote for TRS for Vidhan Sabha and vote Congress for Lok Sabha. So those patterns for the first time will be seen in divided Andhra.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait for the 16th to get the result and exactly know what exactly has happened and how things have taken shape.
All right, interesting. The election is still some time away. Sunil Patil now joins us from Hyderabad. Sunil Patil, of course, is a senior journalist and we'll get in a voice on the ground from him. Sunil, hi, thanks very much for joining in this conversation. What is your assessment as far as Seemandhra is concerned and especially the BJP-TDP alliance? Sunil, can you hear me? Well, I think there's a little bit of an audio problem connecting to Sunil over there. We'll try to get back to him. But if in case you want to join in this conversation, IndiaPostLive.com is the name of the website. Just log in over there and post your comments. You can also use Twitter, hashtag IndiaPostLive to your tweets, or use our Twitter handle at IndiaPostLive. Sunil, are you there? Can you hear me? Ishant side.
Yeah, I can hear you, Ishan.
All right, Sunil. So, Sunil, of course, is the man on the ground in Hyderabad. So, tell us, Sunil, what is the assessment as far as you can make of Seemandhra and this alliance, that rather uneasy alliance between the TDP and the BJP?
In fact, it's rather uneasy because of the fact that for the last 4 days, we actually saw, on one hand, on Friday night,
Right.
the talk that the alliance could break up, and then suddenly next you have was assurance coming in from Prakash Javadekar and also the TDP, a man on the ground. In fact, Chandrababu Naidu is not in Hyderabad. His man Friday is Mr. Sujana Chaudhary, and his place is within Rajya Sabha MP. So these are the two people, Prakash Javadekar and Sujana Chaudhary, who are leading the brigade, who are leading the talks on the alliance. It's rather tenuous, and in fact, it is a crucial day for alliance because the BJP has given the TDP an option till evening today. There were 3 of its candidates from who have filed their nominations from 3 constituencies, and if failing that, the BJP will be forced to rather back out of this alliance. One crucial factor is Narendra Modi is coming to Andhra Pradesh tomorrow. He is going to campaign in three places in the districts and is also going to have a huge rally tomorrow in Hyderabad. In fact, the rally in Hyderabad would be something like the NDA rally. This would have all the NDA constituents, specifically the BJP and the TDP on board and probably some other alliance partners. And it is this particular rally where Chandrababu Naidu will not be invited. That's the talk as of now. If the TDP doesn't sacrifice three of the seats which the Bharatiya Janata Party had said it wanted for himself. So it's rather tenuous alliance as of now. The talks are on between the PDP and BJP, especially with related to the seats in Telangana. The sharing of seats in Telangana is being settled now, but in case of the Sinwanda, the coastal region, the other state which is going to be soon formed, there are certain problems for the TDP and BJP in that particular case.
All right, but I just want to talk about the biggest, tallest leader in that state because this is sort of a very personality-driven election. How much of a Namo factor is there? Who is bigger, Chandrababu Naidu or Jagan Mohan Reddy in popular perception?
You have to remember this is a region which is undergoing transition, political transition, administrative transition. Unlike the rest of the country, the situation here is different. For the simple fact that this election could bring in two new states. They won't be just a state which has already existed and people are getting that government back to power. In fact, what we remember is that Andhra Pradesh is being divided into two states, Telangana and Sumatra region. So the dynamics of the election in particular region, undivided state of Andhra Pradesh is different. On the one hand, you have the region of Telangana, wherein the TRS is at the forefront of the right to be the party at the forefront of creation of Telangana. The demand is very popular in the region. On the other hand, you have the Simon region, where there is a huge amount of this. For the way the state was being bifurcated. Chandrababu Naidu didn't want really all from the Srimanta region. So, in fact, Jagan Mohan Reddy has in particular designed himself in the fact that he would like to become the chief minister of the Srimanta region, that is the residually unfinished call, and not the United State of Andhra Pradesh, to which he earlier aspired to which he went out of the Congress. On the other hand, in the Telangana region, Telangana Congress, or the Congress in Telangana, stands to gain hugely. In fact, one of the reasons behind why Congress pushed for reformation of Telangana was the fact that it hoped to gain at least a substantial chunk of the Lok Sabha seats from Telangana region because it wanted to see the party which is Telangana to the people. So in the same thing, about another party is the TRS, which has been the forefront of education. In fact, it was the TRS education which forced the Congress man, so to say. Congress, of course, being in power in center and state, managed to bring about a debate in the parliament, and they also voted in parliament for the state of Telangana. The dynamics of the politics are different. Now, coming back to the question that you asked in Narendra Modi way, having laid the ground rules in terms of what the background is for the Lok Sabha elections this time around, there is a substantial Narendra Modi being ruled out. There it is in urban sectors. There are a lot of people in Hyderabad, ground rules of Narendra Modi, among the tech population, among the ordinary businessmen, traders, and also the question of Narendra Modi to India has had an effect on understanding people about the way. But if you go into further rural areas, there are other issues which are of prime importance. One is the fact that
Right.
since the state will be divided,
Right.
since the state will be divided, people are living with apprehensive on both sides of the border as to what will happen, especially government employees. If you consider it's nearly 80,000 government employees which are divided between two states, and they are worried about. They don't know. They are worried about pensions. They are worried about which state they will allot it to. So, in terms of immediate concerns, that one thing you raised is Narendra Modi may not be a substantial factor when you consider local ground factors, especially division of the state, division of pension of employees, which is expected to happen by June 2, by which the two states should exist.
All right, but Sunil, thanks very much for those inputs. Interesting comments coming in over there. Jayaprakash, I want to bring you in. The Namo factor might be there in Hyderabad, might be there in urban centers, but all across the state it's not there. And the fact that everything is up for grabs and people would also be trying to get as much as they can or at least secure their future because it's a divided state now. It's the first time it will be throwing up assembly and these Lok Sabha seats. So as far as all these factors go, what would be the people's consideration? What would be primary things on their minds right now?
No, to vote for which party or?
Yeah, to vote for which party? Like he was saying, for example, with the government employees, they might not have the Namo factor or any other consideration. They would just want a stable government so that they can ensure that their jobs remains in that state. It's not split.
Okay. So, first let me tell you something about the post-poll scenario, as Ashokji was talking about. It will be much more interesting than what is now going on, because as Ashokji was saying, actually BJP is not afraid of TDP. Actually TDP is afraid of BJP.
How was the TDP on the ground? Because after that loss that Chandrababu Naidu had, after he was the czar of cyber czar of Hyderabad and everything, he really hasn't been able to come up that well.
Yeah, that's what I am trying to say. In the post-poll scenario, actually the interesting thing is all the three major political parties, barring Congress, all the three parties, TDP is already in the alliance. YSR Congress is also interested in joining NDA. He openly said 3 days ago also, he said that we are willing to join hands with NDA if they will be giving priority to the state interests. And at the same time, even TRS is also interested in joining with NDA. So BJP has several options. I mean, one side TRS, YSR Congress, TDP, and it will be much more interesting thing in Simandra. Both the main parties, both YSR Congress and TDP, both are interested to join NDA. So TDP is now fearing, Chandrababu particularly fearing, in the post-poll scenario, if YSR Congress will get more seats than us, definitely BJP and Namo will ditch them. So it will be a much more interesting thing. So Chandrababu is fearing a lot. Now it's a do or die situation for TDP and in particular to Chandrababu. But in Telangana, without BJP, there is no TDP as on today on the ground. So it's a obviously do or die situation in Telangana. The same case goes with in Simandra also, because now so many political forces are emerging. Pawan Kalyan's party and Chiranjeevi may also relaunch. Some rumors are going on, may relaunch. So it is a question of existence for Chandrababu and particularly TDP.
All right, Ashok, you want to come in?
Similarly, that's what exactly the issue is. When BJP gave ticket to Purandareshwari, so Chandrababu Naidu really reacted very strongly. So everybody thinks that it is Javadekar who went and mellowed him down. It was not that. The statement made by Jagan in that period. So some BJP people who are in touch with Jagan, they made him to make a statement in favor of Modi. That made Chandrababu so uneasy that he said, enough is enough, let me be again back to NDA. So what he says is right. Everybody is there to go for NDA. It is now Modi's choice or NDA's choice to pick up the people. So what alliance today you have, after the poll, the alliance may change. They may dump again TDP if they are not coming with much more number, and they may take up Jagan in the interest of the nation, as it is always being said.
All right. Is it in the interest of the nation? A familiar TV face now comes on line with us. Veera Raghav joins us. He's an independent journalist. And of course, you would have seen him report in various South Indian states for the longest time. Veera, thank you very much for coming in. We're talking about the Simandra region and the uneasy alliance between the TDP and the BJP, and we've discussed that for some time now. I want to talk about the YSR Congress. How is it shaping up? How is Jagan shaping up? And it seems that everybody wants to join on the NDA bandwagon right now. So could we see Jagan making that shift?
I wasn't able to hear your question clearly. There was some breakage in the background. I was just hearing what when you are discussing the BJP alliance, one needs to understand the difference in context that the alliance is performing in time by the now. The previous didn't get much activity at Rajapet or the fact that there is also new facility control. The real trouble for Naidu is that there has been a reluctance to allow play the lead role in the alliance from the BJP. Modi is seen as the tallest figure. That was not the case earlier. Whenever such an alliance is a regional party, the national party had accepted the strength of the regional state, whether it was Karnataka, even Mahesh but this time, the Modi index is the tallest for the BJP. It's the part of the strategy in that sense. For the BJP to project itself and now Modi to be projected as a leader who is leading his allies in top 5%. Given this situation, it is interesting, the question that you asked about everybody wanting to go towards the BJP. I think the recruit is becoming really first whether the BJP has the ability to do that. I see it is required at that too. And whether these allies, how these allies would react to like that situation. I was talking of strong leaders like let us say Jayalalitha, Karnataka, Jagannath Reddy, with the numbers that they have to poll, they have the numbers, it will be very difficult to do this in terms of that. But during elections itself, it would be interesting to know how the BJP has back to do it because I traveled around Rajasthan and I came back 2 days ago, and there is a sentiment amongst that Simandra we would need a leader who experience of building. That is the campaign that the BJP is doing at the grassroots level. The BJP an experienced politician, administrative ability to become your leader, to ensure that will that work? At the moment, I would believe
all right, we seem to have having a bit of an audio problem, and we'd like to apologize to our viewers for that. Both Veera and Sunil, you couldn't hear them very well. To just sum up, well, it is all up for grabs, and as far as the TDP BJP goes, well, the BJP is certainly ruling the roost over there, and YSR Jagan Congress is doing rather well. I think that is what Veera was also suggesting. But final comments, gentlemen. I'll start with you, Veera and Sunil. Veera, first you. As far as the final tally goes, where do you see this head? How do you see Simandra shaping up? We'll discuss Telangana at a later stage. But as far as Simandra is concerned, who do you think has the edge, and how many seats would you give them, Lok Sabha and Assembly?
I do want to get into competition, but at the moment, government is happening at Simandra. That is a certain not, I will not write off the regarding comment in the brief has its own pocket. There is a group in the Kapu class consolidating behind so I would not like to now the other point that you were asking about how it is lucky to stop up in one point I would not be surprised. Andhra works very differently with assembly constitution and very differently with parliamentary constitution. They will want to keep both and I would believe that that is
all right, Sunil, what about your assessment on the ground as far as who do you expect to rule the roost as far as Simandra is concerned? Sunil, can you hear me?
Yes, Rahul, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was asking whether who do you think would rule the roost as far as Simandra is concerned? Who has the edge right now for both Lok Sabha and Assembly?
Rahul, I missed out the first portion of the question. Can you kindly repeat it, please?
Yeah, I was saying who would rule the roost as far as Simandra is concerned? Which alliance looks stronger? Which party looks stronger? Final word, just one line.
Now, what I have understood the question, Simandra region, of course, it is going to be very tough for Congress. That's like given because in the Simandra region, it is seen as a party which actually gave that did not help Simandra region. Simandra region, of course, will have to build a new capital. There are various issues of water sharing involved. There are various issues of jobs involved. It is a very crucial time for Simandra region, especially over the next 5 years. Any party which comes to the Simandra region will have to ensure that process of division of employees, the process of creation of the new state, the new administrative machinery which needs to be brought into Simandra is done. And for the people, from the point of view of people, they're looking for a candidate who can settle all these issues, who can probably set the pattern for the cabinet issues coming to existing the new state. So it's very crucial time for Simandra. Chandrababu Naidu, of course, is picking up momentum in the Simandra region.
Right.
As of now, the chances of YSR city gaining 10 majority are rather high. But Chandrababu Naidu, despite initial debacle, is slowly inching his way forward in setting various directories. In fact, he and his son both are into campaign mode right now.
All right. Thanks very much, Sunil and Veera, for joining us with the situation on the ground over there. Final comment, gentlemen. Ashok sir, who do you think has the edge right
Congress is absolutely out.
Why?
Forget about Congress because
completely lost the plot.
Lost the plot. So out of 25 seats, 60% I think will go with Jagan. That come amounts to 15, 16 seats. Rest of the seats will be divided among the BJP, TDP, and one or two.
And the state assembly polls would happen along the lines. I mean, the voting.
By and large, what I personally feel, as far as Simandra is concerned, not Telangana, Simandra, it will go in that way. But now, how developmental planning, the division, emotional planning that works, that has to be seen. Means we can only wait and watch.
All right, Jayaprakash, final word.
Yeah, in Simandra region, by and large, YSR's Congress will be the leading force, and I think particularly in assembly polls, YSR Congress will lead ahead in obvious positions. It will lead ahead over TDP and BJP alliance almost to form the government in the assembly polls. And coming back to Lok Sabha polls, as Ashok ji was saying, the fight must be very tough, and there also YSR Jagan will be leading the thing. And one more interesting thing is, for the last two general elections, assembly and parliament polls were held together. But in 2009 elections, YS Rajshekhar Reddy, YSR was very strong at that time. Even at that time also, Congress got 31, 32.
UPA 2 was mainly formed because of Andhra Pradesh.
31, 32 seats, but they got only 157 out of 294 assembly seats. They got only 157. I mean, the magic figure is 147 or 148. So they got only 10 seats ahead of that. But coming back to Lok Sabha elections, there was a huge one-sided thing.
I think that was for UPA.
UPA. So for the last in the last two general elections, the voting pattern in Lok Sabha and Assembly is not quite the same. Right. So if that happens this time also, YSR Congress will lead ahead.
This time this is a divided state.
Divided
so we
state.
have
divided state.
So many new things are happening. So there are, you just don't know how.
As the cliche goes, I think we'll have to sum it up and we'll have to wait and watch till the 16th of May. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, Jayaprakash and Ashok sir. And Sunil and Veera, thank you very much for coming in with your inputs on the ground. So that's it. What do you think about Simandra? Who has the edge over there? Is there a Namo factor over there? Write into us. IndiaPostLive.com is the name of the website. Just log in and post your comments. Also use Twitter, #IndiaPostLive to your tweets, or use our Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive. Alright, that's it on this conversation, but the conversations of course continue right here on India Post Live. Thanks so much for watching.